It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, it is showtime. What's happening, everybody? Geno Jones Showtime. It's me, and I'm here live Thursday, July 24th, I do believe. Let me see. Yep. July 24th. Looked over at my little notes here. So, Monday through Friday, we have the normal start days, Monday through Friday. We have a new start time, relatively new, last about, 6, 7, a little over a month. Anyway, 7:30, your clock is right, Eastern time, 7:30, 6:30 Central Time. Hello, Chicago, everybody on Central Time. Live in Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and everybody on the West Coast. 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Tell everybody to please be sure that you click the thumbs up like you can't talk to me. Be sure to click the thumbs up. Give me the like, okay? So important. You let these algorithms know, and algorithms is just a set of instructions. So, all right, click on the like button, subscribe. Please click on the subscribe button. That's important too. So subscribe and like and share. You can screen grab, rip some of the video, make it go viral. If you would like to be a sponsor, I would be honored to have you as part of the Geno Jones Show family, as a sponsor, as an advertiser, or just to financially support the show as an individual, as a company. It's so important that we support all black-owned institutions, especially now, since the government said, well, no more, we don't want to deal with you Negroes no more. They were saying something else, but they kind of disguised it, anti-DEI. It's like, okay, that means we just don't want to deal with you black folks. We're all we got. We are all we got. We know that. But we are all we need. And not only are we all we need, we got everything we need. So, bye-bye, baby. So long, baby. We're good. Do you? Take the bigotry and the hate and the racism and the misogyny and the white nationalism and all the ignorance and fear. Go on over there. Watch last night's monologue. Because, man, I stood on business. We stand on business every night, but I really stood on business. Just the con of racism, and the con of sexism and misogyny, and just the con of hate and fear. And who benefits from it? Who's making money? Always follow the money. All right, well, speaking of money, I'd be honored to have you as a sponsor. You can advertise on the show. If you're looking for a brand ambassador, pitch man, I'm the king of brand ambassadors and pitch men, so you can reach out to me. Now, if you would like to support the show financially, you can Cash App, or you can Zelle or Cash App and Zelle. Zelle, use my email address, Geno Jones Show, Geno Jones Show. That's how you spell it. That's on Zelle. Cash App, $Dad G Jones. So the $ first, capital D, lowercase a, lowercase d, like daddy. Capital G, capital J, lowercase o, like oatmeal, lowercase n, like Nanette, lowercase e, like elephant, lowercase s, like salmon. $Dad G Jones. Shoot me an email. I would love for your company, your business, whatever your services, your goods. Let me help you grow your business, and let's grow together. As a part of a family, the Geno Jones Show family. We love it. Speaking of family, I'm excited. My guests are going to be joining me shortly. There's a huge event. I'm so honored to be a part of this event. It's been going on for over a decade, probably about a decade and a half. But the founder of this event, it's called Boyz to Men. It's a mentoring conference, and this year's the Back to School Bash. So the founder, man who started this whole thing, of course, he's founder of Real Men Against Domestic Violence. So you've seen Butch Kennedy was on a couple of weeks ago, and then we got Brother Rajan on Lewis, and we are expecting Representative Wendell Gilliard to talk about the conference. So get ready for that. That's coming up. But so the monologue is connected to that today. Shorter monologue because I got guests, but it all ties in. Because there's been so much talk about a man And you know, what men do and what men don't do. And men, oh yeah. All right, so we're going to have that conversation today. So, what is a man? A man, you'll say, a man is strong, right? And a man is smart. Should be smart, right? And a man should be tough and hardworking. Yeah, all that. Protects the people that he loves, provides for his family. And a man, a real man, is honest, dependable. You can depend on him. My grandfather said, don't be there when I want you, be there when I need you. That's a big difference. That's what being dependable is. A real man has character, compassion, and empathy. Real man leans into his humanity. He learns to listen. He learns to listen, to hear, to listen, and to hear. He realizes that he can't be right all the time. Nobody is. And that it can't always be his way. It can never be your way, always. And then there's a difference between a male and a man. I'm going to say that again. There's a difference between a male and a man. Some folks kind of get being a male, you know, your genitalia can define you being a male. But just because you have male genitalia, just because you have, you know, my mother's probably watching, so I apologize, but this is, you know, tell the truth, shame the devil. That's what we do here on the show. Just because you got a dick between your legs. It's big or small, don't matter. That makes you a male. That don't make you a man. You got 20 babies by 10 different baby mamas. It makes you a male, but not a man. So I got some men on the show, so we're gonna have this conversation. And by the way, I'm gonna address something today, because there's been a lot of controversy. President Obama spoke about the influence of, he had a professor who was gay, who gave him a perspective or different perspectives on things that made him a better man, and a man with more empathy and compassion and humanity, and to be able to see everybody's humanity. And you had a significant number of folks that's clowning him. Oh, he's saying that your son should be around gay men, and taking what Barack Obama said way out of context. So we're going to call out the homophobia too. Because I'm going to start off by saying this, by bringing on my guest. We cannot afford to throw away anybody. Who you sleep with, I don't give a shit. I don't want to know. It's none of my business. I don't care. But if you have something to contribute to the culture, to the community, to humanity, if you can see my humanity, if you can see your humanity in me, I can see your humanity, or I can see my humanity in you. And that you have a sense of empathy and compassion and decency and character. Who you sleep with don't matter at all. And it ain't no, I'm not afraid. That's not important. Who are you as a person? Not what your sexual preference is. You may like to drink, may like to smoke, you may like to gamble. I mean, we can go on. There's no, for those Christians out there, y'all know it ain't like this price list. Like back in the day, barbershops, they used to have like a price list. Like if you want a fade haircut, you want a regular haircut, you want lines, you just want to line up, you want the blackout. It was like a list, and everything line item. No, sin ain't like that. I ain't never seen nobody's Bible, and this racist remix version of Christianity, especially these white evangelicals and some black folks practice. y'all do understand, we talked about last night, the origins of, if we want to talk about being a Christian and Christianity, do you know where Christianity originated from? It originated on the continent of Africa and Ethiopia. Google or Digital Green Book, that's a black-owned AI company, artificial intelligence, or Chat GPT, whatever you got. Google Coptic, C-O-P-T-I-C, Coptic Christians and Coptic Christianity. That's where all this stuff started. Not in Europe, not in Italy, not in Great Britain, none of that. So, but I digress. So the bottom line is, we got to be able to see the humanity in each other as humans, but especially as black folks. Not just here in America, but all across the globe, as they call the African diaspora. All right, so here we go. I teed it up once again. My guests are going to be a part of this huge event I am honored to be a part of on August 2nd. So that's going to be, what about, I think a week from this Saturday. So a little less than a week and a half. We're waiting on Brother Gilliard. You've seen him, one of the Gilliard. One of my guests, this brother's just been putting in work, and he still does it. He's been putting in work in the community. I've been here 20 years, and it seems like this brother has been putting in this work for 20 years. I'm really excited to have him here, Rashawn Lewis, and of course, the brother that got the ball started and got the ball rolling. He is the founder, the head of Real Men Against Domestic Violence. He has his Hope Walk against domestic violence. He said this is the last year he gonna be walking. He said, them knees is talking. And he's been doing this Boys to Men's conference where we mentor young boys, teenagers, and young men, and even not so young men, on how we can be better men overall, better men to each other, better men to our spouses, our wives, our mothers, daughters, granddaughters, sisters, nieces, and to the community. Butch Kennedy. So ladies and gentlemen, here we are. You see on the screen, and then Brother Gilliard, right on cue, jumped in. Representative Wendell Gilliard. These brothers will be part of just a dynamic force of nature, of a group of black men coming together. The goal to be mentors to young men, young boys and men, and to grown men and to each other. There's Representative Wendell Gilliard. Brother Gilliard, let me just make sure you open your mic, but let me start off. I've been grinding, so I owe you a huge apology on camera. I'm glad to see that you're doing great, and I've been meaning, and usually by the time I finish all this up, it is going on between the show and sending out copies. I'm like, I can't be calling this brother at like 11:30, midnight, because I knew you needed your rest. But you definitely, you've been in my prayers, and I did show you some love on social media. So I'm just glad that you're here, and I'm glad that, and you look great, brother. So
thank you, man.
God is awesome, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he sure is. And you can believe prayers do work. Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. Well,
because if you had seen my car, it's all twisted and everything. But I really want to take a minute and thank everybody for their kind words. The people who've been emailing and calling in the last 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks now.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Okay. I just want everybody to know that I thank them for everything that they have done thus far.
Well, you know, the prayers are continuous, at least for me. I can't speak for nobody else, but you know, we're going to always lift you up continuously. You and I have known each other for 20 years, so that's a record.
Oh, yes.
Good.
Yeah, man.
All right, Rashawn, Butch, you all heard the monologue. I don't know how much the monologue Representative Gilliard. So I guess the starting point is we talk about, a man and what a man is and what a real man is. And we got to really define, we got to really redefine, not define, we got to redefine. We got to like reverse engineer some of what we, especially as black men, believe. Because like I said, it's a difference between being a male and being a man. So, Brother Kennedy, I'm going to toss it to you first, and then everybody can pick up the baton, Brother Rashawn, and Wendell, you can too.
Well, thank you, my friend. It's good to see you once again, man. And the topic that you brought it in so well. When you started talking about gay men as well, my cousin, who I love very dearly, was gay, right? So I think empathy is real important part of being a man. That's why we call real man real, right? Real men against domestic violence. The E stands for empathy, right? That's one thing that we as men, don't really know a lot about in the topic that we're talking about here, about redefining this thing called manhood. I've been talking about this for 15 years, man. And it's time that we have this conversation as men, right? And we as men define this kind of what it means to be a man, as opposed to allowing society to dictate what we're supposed to be as men.
Come on.
Right. So it's so refreshing, for me. And we've done this before. We had the salute to our women, right? The woman I respect and admire. All you guys were part of that as well, man. That is refreshing to me, because you have no idea how hard it is to get people, especially, Black men, to open up enough, right, to be vulnerable, with anyone, much less, their woman, their significant other or not. So that meant the world to me, man. And these gentlemen here that are with me mean the world to me as well, man. I mean, Rajan has been doing great work forever. And, Wendell, he actually sponsors everything that we do. So we're like, that's like my big brother there, man. He's been a mentor to me for since I walked through the door. So, yeah, I'm gonna bounce the ball to them guys right now, because I definitely want to hear what they got to say.
Brother Rajan, let's get your take, man.
It's kind of funny that this is sort of the topic of discussion today. I haven't even released this yet. I'm literally finishing a book called the A to Z Guide to Becoming Him, which is a book that I actually started out as a letter to my son, RJ, Rajan Lewis Jr. My son is 17 years old. He's in basic training right now at Fort Jackson. He finishes next Thursday. I'm very proud of him.
Wow.
Shout out to RJ if he's watching. But I was thinking to myself, like, if something would ever happen to me, I wanted my son to know the values of a man, right? And what the things that I've tried to show him as a father, the things that I've aspired to. Maybe I didn't get it all right, but I always try. So if something would ever happen to me, I wanted him to have some kind of documented idea of what are the things that his father cares about, and what are the things that he values as a man. So it's literally from A to Z, starting with A and accountable, ending with Z and zeal. Every single letter has a different characteristic that is related directly to being a man and to manhood. And I wanted to do that for him because I think it'd be a powerful piece. But not only is it important piece for him, to Butch and to your point, Geno, we are not as men owning manhood. We allow social media, we allow the world, we allow the media to tell us what manhood is in this century and in this time. And so I wanted my son to have a foundation of what his father believes. But not only that, I also use the stories of many famous people. So, for example, I use generous, right? And LeBron James, we know him as a basketball player, but outside of that, he's a very generous man. He's given back to his community to the I Promise work that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
He's also given back as a father and as a husband, and being that great role model. So I wanted my son to understand the totality of it. So when we're talking about what manhood is, I think it is time that we as Black men specifically start to take the bull by the horns and have these conversations publicly, not in silos, and not to, and honestly, also just to your point earlier, that understanding that manhood is not related to sexuality. A man's gonna be a man regardless. A man is supposed to be a man. And if once we identify what those values are that a man holds, then we can start having other discussions in respect for other people's lifestyles. And too often we don't do that. We act like it's an either or, when the truth is it's a both and. Be who you want to be, but understand that a good man, even in the Bible, right? It talks about the steps, the characteristics of a virtuous man, right? It's right there. So I don't want to say too much, but I just wanted, like, again, I have not talked about this anywhere. I haven't even released it. I haven't even put on my social media yet that I'm writing this book. But literally, I will be releasing this book in August. So
well, great.
I'm really excited about it.
First of all, Rajan, you can never talk too much. All right. So this is your home. This is everybody on the screen. This is you all's home. You've known that, and you guys have been on the show multiple
Appreciate
times.
You, Geno.
But I want to moonwalk back. I want to moonwalk back a little bit, real quick, to something you were saying, because it kind of piggybacked on what I said earlier.
Yeah.
I said there's a difference between a male, and a man.
Yeah.
All right. Your genitalia can determine that you are a male of the male species. But being a male and being a man
Are not the same thing.
are two different things.
Mhm.
Another thing on my list, a man doesn't make excuses, and a man first holds himself accountable, and he holds the people that he loves and care about. He holds them accountable also.
For
Um,
sure.
Rajan, I'd love to hear. I don't want you to give everything away on the book, but I do want you to come back when you get ready to release the book, and you have
I
the whole
will.
episode to yourself. But what are some of the other things? I know you said from A to Z. I'd love to hear some of those other things because I want to get everybody's take. Because I threw a lot of things out, but there's some
Mhm.
things I'm sure I didn't mention that, of course, that you wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Not just you, but everybody, including Butch and brother Wendell Gilliard. So go ahead, Rajan.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I just off the top of my head, because it's the 26 characteristics. I remember zeal. Zeal is, you have to have a zeal for life. You have to
Yeah.
have a love for the things that you're doing. You have to have a fire in your belly, right? A man should leave his home excited for what he gets to do in the day. So you gotta set your life up in a way where the things that you're doing when you leave your house are things that you love. That relates back to the things that you do before you have a job, right? How are you putting yourself in position to have a job that you love? Representative Gilliard, he gets to leave his house and do something he loves every day, serving the people of the state of South Carolina, right? Faithful. A man is faithful. A man is faithful to his God. A man is faithful to his family. A man is faithful to his wife. That is things that men, do we all get it right? No, but it's something we should aspire to, right?
Absolutely.
H, a man is honorable, right? A man is honorable. A man keeps his word. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. And if you can't do it, don't say it, right? And like you said, Gino, he doesn't make excuses, right? There's so many. A man is resilient. You're gonna fall down, but you get back up. You don't stay there. So yeah, these are all things. Like I said, it's not only yeah. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I get excited about these things because us as black men, we have to get excited about talking about the good things about being men. We have a society that's telling us that it's not enough to be a man, that men aren't needed, men aren't necessary, men aren't loved, men aren't valued. We have value, we have purpose, but we have to identify what those values are before we can try to push them off on somebody else.
And not only do we have to identify with them, that we have to live them. We can't
Yes.
we can't
Bang.
talk about it. The mouth can say anything, but we have to walk in that light. We have to live everything that we say a man is. We shouldn't have to speak it out of our mouth. People should be able to look at us and be like,
Fear.
"Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's strong. He's
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
He's hardworking." My grandfather said, "Your word is your bond." That
That's
meant
it.
if Conway Jones told you that he was going to do something, you could set your watch to it. You could
There it
bet
is.
your mortgage and life insurance. If Conway Jones said he was going to do it, he was going to do it. And if something happened, some emergency, he was going to call you ahead of time and say, "Listen, I'd heard him do it so many times with my relatives. Because so and so, that something happened, I didn't get my money on Tuesday. I get it Thursday. You will see me Thursday." I know because I have rode buses in Chicago. We would 2 hour take two buses, 2 hours to get to the other side of town to give my relatives some money back. He taught me a real quick lesson, and I remember it. So he said, "Your word is your bond," and he wanted to show me what did that look like. So he called his relatives on the other side of town and said he needed to borrow like $20. Now, my grandfather did not necessarily need the $20, but the lesson is coming. He went over, so he went to one cousin's house. One cousin only had like $5, and this cousin called all over because it was a neighborhood where probably had 5 or 6 different cousins, first cousins living within like a 3 or 4, maybe 2 or 3 block area. So they was cousin Conway need $20. I got 5. Can you loan him 10? So they like ended up got together, got him this $20. We got back on the bus. 2 buses went all the way back on the south side of Chicago from the west side. That following week, on the day he said he was going to pay them back, we got on the bus. Now, that same $20, my grandfather never touched it. Never touched it. But he showed me this. We got back on the bus. He took that same $20 and gave it to his cousins. And they were like, "Oh, Cousin Conway, we weren't worried about you. You sure? Do you need to keep it? Do you need?" the lesson is your word is your bond. Your word is your bond. Brother Gil, y'all, let's get your take, man.
Well, definitely, listening to everybody, I was just sitting here reminiscing with my father, because my father was a strong male figure. Matter of fact, he used to be a boxer, believe it or not, in
Really?
the Navy. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, he spent many years in the military, in the Navy. But anyway, I was thinking about the fact that it was the late great Dr. King that once stated that the true measure of a man is not where he stands during the time of comfort and convenience, but where he stands during the times of trials and tribulation. Because during the times of trial and tribulation, a true man, okay, will lead the way, show the way, and be the way. In other words, he'll be the guiding light. Okay. He'll take the brunt, he'll take the stormy weather, and he will spread what he has been taught. Okay. A true man has a heart, and you can touch his heart. Okay. He has virtue. Okay. And, he feels. Okay. And he can endure. And that's the essence of what this I would venture to say what this conversation is all about. Because right now, even in hard times, you and I talked about this many times. Geno, is the fact that we need more men out here to help us because no man is an island. We need other men, okay? A man that will take his time, just like if somebody was his child, and spend that time, not with just that child, but a group of children,
Yes.
as to spread the love. You that old saying, you teach one, yeah, you learn many. You got me?
I love that.
So and the other thing coming up in the village, because I'm from a family of 12, I'm the youngest of the boys. Okay.
Wow.
Coming from the village, we made no excuse. Okay. In other words, my father wasn't always home, but when he was home and he was present, he laid it down. Okay. And we had to obey to his rules. Okay. Always teaching us how to give and respect others, okay, as we move along in life. To you, Butch, and the other gentleman, what's his, I want to call him
Rajan.
by his right
Brother
name,
Rajan.
Sean. Yeah, because I know he's out here doing his thing, and I'm very proud of Sean. But, when you have to look around for help, you're not looking for that man that you described that has a penis. Okay, let's get it straight. I'm a straight shooter here. Okay, because a true man will come by and offer his help. Will seek you out to work with you. You see, as to help spread the love and show the way, like I just stated. But we're short of those kind of men in our society. Okay, and one last thing on this issue, you know, a true man will never judge. He will always help. Okay, a true man will never criticize. Okay, he will always give a helping hand. Okay, we can chastise and criticize all day. And a true man will not be jealous when they see other leaders out there trying to make a difference, but they will join in like the Kennedys, like the Shawns, like the Geno. That's what we're short of in our society. And people have to understand that. What we're facing now is the fact that this thing called jealousy, animosity,
Envy. Say
it's
that, Wendell.
envy,
Envy, yes.
envy. I mean, it's bad enough we have to deal with our enemy who hate us, okay? By virtue of the color of our skin,
Yes.
okay? We got to fight that battle. But when you have to fight all those other things we just named, then it makes it harder on us as men, as we want to show the way and lead the way, okay? So that's what we're facing. Even in Colombia, I just told a group of guys the other day, you know what? We got good leaders in Colombia, but then we got a lot of bad leaders too. We have a lot of guys coming up there and women They have the attitude that I have arrived. Arrived where? You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Wow.
You're supposed to come up here with a humble heart and virtue. You're not better than anybody. Your position in life doesn't qualify you to look down on nobody. Okay? So I just wanted to put that whatever that 2 cents is worth
Well,
out there.
it's more than
Okay.
2 cents, but Wendell, on
Yeah.
that point, let me moonwalk back real quick because I remember we had a conversation. Oh, this is when we first met. Like I said, this year marks my 20th year here in Charleston. 20 years on the radio, and this is going on year 5. October, it'll be the 5th year doing my TV show. And yeah, we were having a conversation. So it just came across in a real conversational way, but it was so profound. And it hit me, and the light went off because it resonated immediately because I had witnessed this, but I never articulated it the way you did. It was
Mhm.
simple, but it was profound. She said there's a difference between a politician and a public servant.
Public servant. Yes. Dr. King taught that. Jesse Jackson taught that. Malcolm X taught that. Okay. Even Jesus himself taught that because he was the master servant. And I'm no Bible scholar, but I'm somewhat of a historian. But I'm glad you brought that point up. Okay, because as people throw insults at you for doing what's right, you have to forgive them and you have to stay focused. You know that old saying Reverend Jackson always used to say, keep your eyes on the prize.
Yes.
Don't ever get bigger than the cause.
Come on now.
You can't do that. You see, and that's where we're so divided here in South Carolina and many other places too, because my ego should never be bigger than yours, but it should be equal to your ego as to move forward and progress. Okay? Everybody has something to bring to the table. God has gifted us
Yes.
with many different gifts. I could not do things without Butch Kennedy giving me ideas and vice versa. Okay? And Sean can't do anything by himself. He has to bring good people to the table. And I tell people this in politics, don't ever think that you don't qualify. All you have to do is have a heart and a soul that's willing to make a difference and climb the ladder. You don't have to be no lawyer. Get off of that. My God. Yeah, I'm writing a book about all this stuff too. I'm like Sean, okay? Because when you look at this democracy and this republic, okay, those great men really stole this land from indigenous people.
Say that.
And don't ever use that
Say,
word Indian because that's
say
like using the N word.
Thank you.
Okay, when I look at the Constitution and I tell them this in Colombia, that Constitution was made only for white males. It wasn't made for white women, enslaved people, indigenous people. Okay, let's get. I'm gonna get off of my political.
Well,
bandwagon here
no. Stay there,
because,
Wendell.
yeah.
Because, and I've said this so many times on the show, was white male landowners. So that meant
Bingo.
if you were a white man, but you didn't have money, that document wasn't for you
Yeah.
either.
Yeah. And one thing I like about the Boys to Men conference, we get a chance to talk to young people just like this. Okay. And that was only through the vision of Butch Kennedy. Okay. And his lovely wife. I don't want to take nothing because
Shout out
every
to
time you
Lisa.
see a good man, a good woman is standing by him.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
I know Sean would agree to that too. But, because of their vision moving around, doing this great cause that is much needed here, not only in Charleston, but the state of South Carolina. They have created not a moment, but a movement. And we all should be thankful for that. Because if I can have a Boys to Men event come to my area, like it's doing at Burke High School, August the 2nd, if I'm not, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
But we need that. You know what I did today, Geno? I felt so good about Boys to Men coming to my district, and Butch will tell you, I called him early this morning. I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go out here and help spread the word. I'm gonna invest some monies as to pay for communication to get people out there because we need those young. And I'm loving the fact that it's happening right next to Gaston Green.
Yes.
You see, so not only Burke School is on one side, you got Gadsden Green
And for those,
on the
and
other
Wendell,
side.
for those who
Yeah.
are watching us around the country, and YouTube is global, give them a little background on Gaston Green. That's public housing.
Yes.
Here
Yes.
in Charleston, and it's iconic in the sense that, I mean, it's a rich history. You can explain it better than I can.
Look,
Anyway.
gas and green was there during the days when our ancestors, check this out, our ancestors had provided a way for black people to move in what they used to call back then the projects.
Yes.
Gaston Green was built on wetlands. The dump used to be back there.
Wow.
Okay, that's and Gaston Green was built right around during Roosevelt days. If you had to go back,
Wow.
okay, and that's why we're so adamant on revamping that whole area back there. We did, it got so bad in public housing in my district, and Butch Kennedy can tell you, I actually got an idea. Say, this problem is so massive with public housing, because if it ain't Gas and Green, it's Bridgeview. If it ain't Bridgeview, it's Joseph Floyd Manor. The Pinckney houses back there near Broad Street. Look, I said to myself, you know what we need to do? I'm gonna make a documentary and exploit the problems. And back then, it was Mayor Tecklenburg. I was trying to show the whole world what we need to do with public housing collectively. Why not make a documentary, educate, motivate the people to get involved so we could go to HUD and make some massive changes? The documentary was successful. I found Travis Pearson. He was the producer. And we dubbed it Back DA, Back the Green. And every time he shows that documentary, which is about an hour and 35 minutes long, standing room only.
Wow.
Okay. And that documentary has had a profound impact on HUD. Okay, because we showed the officials what we were talking about in a documentary. And we're going to make changes in public housing as we speak, because we have two, I feel, okay, bright new mayors that's willing to talk about homeless, make things progress the right way as homelessness grows. We're now talking about more affordable housing, building tiny homes, things that we used to be condemned for from the previous administration. Okay? I'm not saying that because, look, I live in Charleston. This is my backyard. I love my city. And Butch Kennedy can tell you that. Okay? So when I see Sean and Butch and all y'all getting together to do the right thing for the many, not the few, then I feel that we're blessed.
Well, Butch, listen, he teed you up, man. Tell everybody, just give us some background, the origin story about Boyz II Men, the Boyz II Men conference. And this year, you've expanded it. It's a back to school bash also. And like I said, give us the origin story and kind of bring us up to the day, to this day or today or August 2nd, and how everybody can be involved. And really great news because there's so much going on. You would think with everything going on, it would cost a whole lot of money, but you're gonna be surprised. So Butch, this is your baby. So you got the floor again, man.
Yeah. So we wanted to be intentional, right? Over the past 5, 10 years, I wanted to do things purposely and with intent. So Wendell kind of explained to you why we're doing this at Burke. Burke is a historical landmark in our city, right? And this is not the first time we tried to get to Burke, right? COVID kind of stopped us the first time, right? But this has been intentional for us to be there because of the area that Burke is in, right? Not just because it's Representative Gilliard's district, right? But you got Back to Green there, you got all these areas back there where we're coming to your neighborhood. Meet me where I'm at. We're coming to you. Right? We're not going, we were talking about going to Myrtle Beach this year. We're not going to Myrtle Beach, right? We're coming right here, right home, right here in Charleston. And we're doing this intentionally. And I met some great people for years, right, that intentionally do great work, right? And I wanted to bring them all together, right, in one venue for all of our youth to grow, right? I mean, this is something that as a kid, right, I had never had. And I thought that this would be beneficial for all kids to have. That conversation about what it means to be a man, right? I mean, I always tell everybody, man, my uncle used to say, he'll figure it out one day. You get old enough, you live long enough, you'll figure it out one day. And I'm like, man, just tell me, right? So I don't make the same mistakes. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing with Boyz II Men. We want to have these conversations with our kids, man. And what better people to have our conversations with than Rajon Lewis, right? Representative Wendell Gilliard, right? And the other many people that are going to be there. I wanted to bring men, right? Men that have successful men within our community. So our little black and brown brothers will understand, that they can do this as well. When we
So,
started our summer camp, Camp Hope, man, all the kids wanted to play football and everything. None of them wanted to be an engineer. I'm an engineer. I've got 4 kids that graduated from Camp Hope that are engineers now. None of them ever thought what that was an attainable goal for them, right? It makes me feel good now when I see these kids, right? And knowing what they're doing now. And I know Rajon knows exactly what I'm talking about because he does the same thing. He's got a great mentorship program, man. And that's what this whole event is about, bringing mentorship groups together in one venue. And the thing about it is that it's absolutely free. It's absolutely free. Don't cost you nothing.
so Butch, could you just briefly give everybody create a picture for us? Tell us what does it look like? Because everything begins at 9 a.m. So if you could just paint the
Right.
picture and
So
tell us exactly what this day is going to look like. And of course,
right.
you talked about what the whole we all talked about the purpose in terms of being a mentor. But for those who are watching, with sons and grandsons or
Right.
just young men themselves, or maybe aunts, uncles, whoever, what is all
Yeah.
that? What is it going to look like?
Yeah, from 8 to 80, they're all welcome, right? From 8 to 80, you're all welcome. But at 8 o'clock, we start with the sign-in process. At 9 o'clock, we begin the program, and the program begins like all of our programs begin, and that's with prayer. Prayer begins at 9 o'clock. And the surprise to me, and what we've really been trying to do for a long time, is get the Burke High School band to perform. And the Burke High School Bulldog Band will be opening the show for us as well. So I'm excited to see them there, the Burke High School Band to be there. We got tons of speakers there. We got breakout sessions there. And before they leave, before your kids leave, I want to make sure they leave the door with school supplies. That'll be one of the last things we do because we don't want them to hold school supplies all day long, right? So
Right.
before they leave, we're going to have a back to school bash. We're going to give everybody school supplies, send them home, man, but we want to send them home fed, fully fed, not only with food, right, but with knowledge, right? We want them to understand the thing that I've really loved the most about the Boys to Men conference is how men, right, come together and share the love, right? Share the love and show the love. And that's something that I never saw as a kid, right? It's something for me to say, Geno, I love you, brother. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Our kids don't get to see that, right? Wendell, I love you, but they don't get to see none of
Mhm.
that, right? But that's one of the most powerful things that we do at Boys to Men. I mean, just showing our kids that it's okay, right, to be the authentic self. This is a safe space for our boys, right? And we want to make sure that they understand that this is their day. I mean, we do it for the girls all the time. This is their day. This is a day for the boys. I mean, and our boys are kings. We want them to know that they're kings. We want them to show how kings are supposed to behave, right? And teach them the right way. And that's why I bring the men that I bring to this table, right? Because these men, they've lived it. And they know exactly what to do. They know exactly. I mean, it's easy for you. You've been there for years, right? It's easy for you to walk into that space and have these conversations with these kids, man. And you see their eyes light up, man. It just means the world to me. So as long as we can, and the reason why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it, I want to make sure that we have mentorship groups there because originally what happened was it fell to the wayside, right? Because the leader kind of dropped off. And I've often told Rajon and some of the other guys that I want to make sure that you're part of this process because if I go away, I don't want it to go away. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want it to be based and contingent upon Butch Kennedy. I want to make sure
Mhm.
that Rajon can pick up the baton just as well. I mean, this is a relay race, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna hand the baton off soon, right? So Rashawn's gonna grab it, and then he's gonna give it to somebody else, right? So we're gonna keep this thing going, man, because it has to keep going because our kids need it, man.
That's
Our
building
boys,
institutions.
yes,
You can't. It's one thing. It's easy to beat one person, but it's hard to tear down an institution, and that's what you're building.
mm,
Rajon, I wanted just to get some feedback because I have watched you over the years, man, working with young men, young boys, teenagers, uh, and I've just admired just the way you move and how you get these young brothers to listen to you. So that means that they trust you. That means that they kids I say are a great bullshit barometer.
Mhm.
Um, they really won't care what you have to say until they know that you care about them.
Mhm.
If they know you
Yeah,
care about them, then they will care to hear what you have to say and they'll listen.
absolutely.
Um, what what are young people today that you're working with? Because one thing that we as adults, I'm just gonna put it out there. We're good, especially we're not the only ones. Our parents, we're good because we're older, we got the wisdom. So we do a lot of talking, but we don't listen enough. And my grandfather said you could learn from a little baby. God could use anybody as a vessel to teach you something. So what is the feedback? What are young people telling you that they need from us as men, especially the young brothers that you work with? What is it that they need and want and crave from us as black men who are the OGs or elders or whatever? Now we got all these names and terms.
So great questions. So I do a lot of work. Low country youth services. We've been around since 2016. Shoot, on an annual basis. We've grown from an organization that served roughly one community with 30 kids up to now. On an annual basis, we serve between 300 and 500 kids on an annual basis, just on average, between our community and school programs. So we do get a lot of interaction with young men and women at this point. We have boys program and girls program. We have 4 mentoring programs as well as a summer camp, which gives us lots of interaction in school and in community. What kids need and what kids are looking for is what we all want. We all want to be respected. We all want to be heard. We all want to know that our voice matters and our voice has importance. And the truth is, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but sometimes in order to make an omelet, you got to break an egg. We talk at our kids, we don't talk to our kids.
Hey, wait, hold on,
Respond
Rajon.
to that.
Tell the truth, shame the devil. Damn eggs or toes.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
a hurt dog holler.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
if this ain't you, then your feet shouldn't hurt. And if
Right,
if your toe got stepped on,
That's right.
don't get upset with Rashawn and me. Look yourself in the mirror and be like, okay,
Yeah.
how can I how can I be a better man? Because it's not about one individual; it's about the
Right.
culture and the
Amen.
community. So I just wanted
Yeah.
to just say, hey man, damn that.
Yeah.
Get thrown.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah.
My main motto on this show, and I know Butch Wendell. My grandmother said, Jeannie, tell the truth, shame the devil. So you
Shame the
telling the
devil,
truth
yeah.
and shaming the devil. So never
Yeah.
apologize and don't hold back. This is because
That's
I don't
right.
hold back nothing.
Amen.
So you
That's
have
right.
my
Sure.
blessing not to speak truth to power.
Yeah.
Tell the truth,
Yes, sir.
shame the devil.
Yeah, so just back to that point, like we talk at kids, we don't talk to kids. We don't show them the power of their voice. And honestly, when I get so we just started. So I'm actually at my office tonight. We started our 7-week program, which is called Empowering Kings, which is a evidence-based curriculum that's actually being approved right here in the state of South Carolina by an organization called Fact Forward, which used to be the South Carolina Organization for Teen Pregnancy Prevention. Now they're called Fact Forward. It's a 7-week program that's designed to teach young men about sexual reproductive health, about life skills, about financial literacy, mental health protection, and all these things. And we had 21 boys that joined that program and started here tonight at our program. We're going to have them for 7 weeks as they complete this program. The first thing that I had to do when these young men walked into my doors is disarm them, because they're walking in with a lot of stuff. They walking into, my mom dragged me here. I didn't want to be here. They're walking into, oh, this is another thing during the summer that I have to do instead of playing video games. They're walking into, oh, I don't know this dude. How long is this dude gonna be around? And the truth is that in a lot of cases, we have abandoned our young men and we've left them to fend for themselves. What you said earlier, they tell us, oh, we'll figure it out. Well, guess what, y'all? Without a guide, we don't figure things out. So the first thing I have to do is explain to these young men, one, you're here for a reason, young man. You are here for a reason. That reason is you're gonna learn some stuff. We're going to make sure we feed you. And we're going to make sure you have a good time, right? And you're going to want to come back, right? You're going to want to come back. And I give them space. If you're one of the kids that you're not one who want to volunteer answers, I'm not going to push the answers out of you. I'm going to let you get comfortable in this space, because I understand that way too often we force kids into circumstances that they're not ready for and just tell them to be especially our boys, oh, just suck it up. When the truth is that our boys have the same right to feel uncomfortable in a space that a girl does. If a girl walked into a space and said, I don't feel comfortable here, no one would say, well, just stay. They said, no, let me respect your feelings. Just like, and we know we do it out of love and out of genuine concern for our young men, right? But we go back to very, very young. We got a boy who rides his bike. He falls down. We say, get back up, boy. Get back on that bike. What you crying for? Be a man, suck it up. Our daughter gets on that bike, same bike, starts riding. She falls down. She cries. We run to the bike. What's wrong, baby? You good? Are you okay? You need anything? Let's take a break. We do that with our children. We do that with our young men far too often. So when you ask, what do young men want? They want to know that if they fall down, I'm not going to tell them that your feelings don't matter. I'm not going to tell you that what you think is invalid. I'm not going to tell you that if you think that the music I like isn't good and that your music is better, then I'm not going to invalidate your opinion. And when we do that, we build trust. We just took 38 boys and girls to Jacksonville, Florida for our end of the year retreat. That's one of the things that we do every year. Is at the end of the year we have a big retreat. We take all our kids. We've been to now Orlando, Jacksonville, Atlanta, Washington D.C., Chicago, Charlotte, Myrtle Beach.
Wow.
Just in the time that I've been here, in the last 8 to 10 years. But while we were in Jacksonville, one of my young men who never talks, right? We're at the beach. We're at Jacksonville Beach. He comes over to me and says, Mr. Lewis, I'm going to beat you in bowling. He never talks. He never talks. Mr. Lewis, I'm going to beat you in bowling. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I'm going to beat you in bowling. All right, cool. So we get to the bowling alley. I look over at him. I said, what lane are you on? What lane are you on? I'm on your lane. I'm bowling in your lane. Not only am I bowl in your lane, I'm going to bowl in every lane next to your lane. So I'm going to have 4 games going on, and I'm going to still beat you. What did I just do? Built a relationship. Our fathers did that with us. They took us to the basketball court and beat the brakes off of us, right? But it wasn't about beating our dad. What were we doing? We were spending time with him. We'll recognize how he competes. We'll recognize how he shows good sportsmanship. We recognize how to do trash talk. We recognize that every disagreement didn't have to end up in a fight. How many of our young men are learning these lessons? So when I think about the Boys to Men Conference, when I think about opportunities like Butch is creating and like Representative Gilliard is cultivating by his sponsorship, he's creating opportunities for us to build these young men through opportunities that they may not otherwise get. That may be the difference between a young man breaking into your house, killing your child, killing you, and being the kid that saves your community, that comes back and picks up trash, that comes back and becomes your mayor, that becomes the next Representative Gilliard, that becomes the next Butch Kennedy, that becomes the next Ray John Lewis, that becomes the next Geno Jones. That's what young people want. They want to know that they have a space in this community outside of just being a kid.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Rajon.
Yeah.
So, Butch, listen, there's a lot of goodness. So, give everybody the details if they need to sign up, if they need to call. But like I said, the best news, people may think that there's a certain cost, but I'm going to let you, I'm not going to ruin the lead in. I'm going to let you, it's your event. So, I'm going to give you the honor to give everybody the great news and all the goodness about what's going to be happening on that Saturday, August 2nd.
Yeah, your admission is already paid for, so it's you don't have to worry about nothing. Just come on out. We're gonna feed you, right? And if you want to register, you can register at PalmettoHopeNetwork.org. You can go there and you can register there, or you can just register at the door, right? Because we're getting pretty close to getting to that point, right? We just want the community to come out. We want young men to come out. We're gonna have conversations with parents as well, because we need to have these types of conversations that we're having here, right?
Yes.
From a parental standpoint, right? And then us men, Geno, we're gonna have that conversation with the men. We need to redefine what the thing is that we call manhood. We need to have all men on board having this conversation, right? And that's the gist of it, man. Come to PalmettoHope.org and log in, and you'll find the information on the Boyz to Men Conference. You go ahead on register there, or you just come to the door.
And
we're waiting
Burke High School. For those who may not know the address, you can get 244 President Street, right?
Mm-hmm. Charleston, South Carolina, 244 President Street. We're going to be there, man. We're ready.
Saturday, August 2nd. So you want to get there early, like Butch said. Registration, you said 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
Starts at 8? Okay.
8 o'clock. Registration starts at 8. We'll be there from 8 to 9 with registration. After 9, the program begins.
Beautiful. All right. So, and then next week, we're gonna do something a little different. We got the fellas today. Next week, we got some dynamic sisters that are gonna be part of it. Because yes, ladies, Because a lot of times, women will bring their sons, their grandsons. Over the years, I've seen, women bring their sons, their grandsons, their nephews, maybe young men that they mentor. And it's a beautiful thing. So we're going to, ladies will be giving us their perspective, including your lovely and brilliant wife, Lisa. So I want to give everybody the last word. Brother Gilliard, why don't you start us off, man? Give us your final thoughts.
Well, definitely, I'm blessed to be among these three men, Geno, Deshaun, and my good friend Butch. That's the way I feel, and I will always uphold your name and your attitudes as far as helping others help themselves to the highest. Okay, I do plan to try to get wide receiver Charlie Brown out there. I want him to. He always wears his Super Bowl ring back in '81. I'm old school. Just left him a couple days ago, but I'm gonna get him to walk around there and see what these young gentlemen are doing to help our future leaders of tomorrow. Okay, so once again, Butch, keep the good work up. Sean, keep the good work up. You got God on your side. Geno, you still talked around about the whole state. Everybody know the Geno Jones show. So I'm nothing but gold, brother. You keep doing it, brother.
I
Okay.
appreciate it, man. Well, I appreciate
Yeah.
your support because you've been
Yeah.
you've been down with me from day one.
Oh yeah.
That means
Yeah.
more to me than you realize, brother
Yes, sir.
Rashawn. Man, listen, thank you for just that powerful piece of
Yeah.
guidance that you gave us in terms of what these young brothers really, really need because we do a lot of talking, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's hard to hear when your mouth is running. But sometimes you gotta listen. Like I said,
Yeah.
a man listens. He learns to listen.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
if you talk to Damaris and Allie in that other room, they would just, yeah, we working on you with that. You ain't quite got it yet. They're like, you need to learn to listen. You talk for a living, but we need you to listen. So
Yeah.
I experience that every day in my own house. So I'm raising my hand, like I said, a real man is accountable. I'm raising both hands.
Yeah.
I'm a work in progress. I know we all are, but I'm a work in progress, brother Rajan. We want to give you the last word on any perspective, anything you want to share, any final thoughts.
I'm excited to be once again participating in such an amazing event. Burke High School, historical Burke High School. Even though I'm a North Charleston High School grad, let that be. Um, to be there and to be able to sow seeds of positivity into these young men as they come through the doors. Butch is also graciously giving us the opportunity to do signups for on-site registrations for our upcoming open enrollment. We do open enrollment once a year for our community-based programming for our young men and our young women. On August 31st, we'll be having our open enrollment for Low Country Youth Services and Distinguished Gentlemen's Club in Clean Being programs. That program normally has between 120 and 160 kids. Last year we had 160 kids. Normally there's over 250 families to show up to be a part of it. So I'm excited to do that, to give more kids an opportunity to be a part of the program. But we can't have enough opportunities like this that exist for our young people, especially with everything that's going on here in the Tri-County area, for these young people to be involved in positivity. If you are not currently donating to the Boys to Men Conference, you should be. This is a worthwhile use of your dollar. My understanding is that tax incentives have been extended for those who are willing to give to nonprofit organizations based on this new tax plan that we have in place. So make use of your dollar and donate to things like the Boys to Men Conference. It is not a wasted dollar. You will not waste your time. Go to their social media pages and find out what's going on and get involved. And if you are across the country, as Geno mentioned earlier, this blast, from South Carolina to California, get involved in what's going on in your local communities. Mentorship is not something that needs to happen after kids are already in trouble. There are kids that need you right now before they ever get in trouble. There are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 16, 17, 18-year-olds who all need you. And don't forget about our 18 to 21-year-olds, the old men either. They need you.
Oh God, yeah, say that part. Now, before we toss it to Butch, Rajan, so you got a release date for your book?
It's coming soon. It's coming soon. Our pre-orders will start on August 10th. I actually was on the phone with my team today getting everything lined up, but the actual book release will probably happen later September, but we're gonna start the pre-orders in August.
All right, so if your pre-order starts August 10th, so I'm producing because I'm not just a host the owner of the company. I'm the producer too, so I'm
Yes, sir.
producing my show. So August 10th, that's when the pre-sale. So you need to be on my show August 9th. What is that? A Tuesday or Wednesday? August 10th.
I'll look and tell you. But yes, I will be. I will be here whenever that is. Whenever you want me here, I'll be back,
Okay.
Mr. Geno.
Yeah. Oh, no, no. Yeah. Listen, man. Come on. You gotta listen. Like I said, you've been doing great work, and that's what this platform is for. All the
Praise
quote unquote
God.
celebrity guests that I had on, and the monologue, all of it is to have a platform to give the voice and to platform, especially people like you who
Mhm.
don't get the
Yes, sir.
recognition and attention that they
Mhm.
should get. You know, you need to be not just you, but
Mhm.
what you, and not just what you stand for and what you represent, but what you, the work. That's the most important
Yes,
thing.
sir.
Like Wendell said,
Mhm.
a lot of folks talk. You do the
Mhm.
work. You don't even talk
Yes, sir.
about it.
Yeah.
You just, that's why I'm so excited to get you on. But when you do, the passion comes out. But I
Yes,
see
sir.
you working. Even if I don't see you,
Yes, sir.
I see you
Yep.
online. You put in the work, and that's the most.
Yes, sir.
And that's why those young people respond to you and respect you and listen to you and gravitate to you because
Yep.
you put in the work
Praise
consistently.
God.
That's the most important
Mhm.
thing. Don't be there for me one day, you know, be there for me. My grandfather said don't be there when I want you, be there when I need you. But
Need you. Yeah.
but when I need you, I need to know that I can consistently depend
Mhm.
on you.
Count on you. Yes, sir. Yes,
Butch
sir.
Kennedy, bring us
That
home,
word,
brother.
that word, man, that consistently word, right? That word means everything to me, man. And Rez has been doing this consistently for years, right? And
Amen.
that's why we have him, and we have people like Daryl Capleton, who
Mhm.
does the West Ashley Wildcats, and many other mentorship groups that are coming together
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
working on this initiative, man. It's not just a Boys to Men initiative with my mentorship group. It's many other mentorship groups that are part of this, and that's
Mhm.
what speaks volumes. Like I'm saying, that one match is going to break easy, but when you bring all of us together, we become multiple matches, right? And it's harder to break us, man. So we're coming together as a group, right? A group of young Black men that want to do good work in the community, especially uplift other Black men, right? And
Mhm.
like Rajon said, from 8 to 80, man, from 8 years old, man, we need
Mhm.
to reach out to these kids, and whether they're in trouble or not, right? They always need a big brother, right? They always need someone that they can confide in, man. I've got kids, man, that talk to me, and I've got younger kids that mentor my younger kids, but I get kids that talk to me all the time about issues that they have going on within the community and within their home, man. So that's why we do what we do here. That's why we're here, and we see the Rajon Lewises, we see the Daryl Capletons, we
Mhm.
see what they're doing in the community, right? So we want to bring all that together. But the most important thing about that is when you bring them together and they get to know each other, right? When they get to know each other and they're out in the community and somebody has beef, they can squash all that. He's okay. I know who he is, right? We don't need to be strangers in our own communities anymore, man. And we can't be afraid of our kids, man. It
Mhm.
bothers me, man, to know that I have so many people, man, that are so afraid of kids that are 16 to 21, right? And 25. Well, why are we afraid of our own kids, man? I mean, we just need to have these conversations with our kids. We need to have the conversations. They're more valuable to me than anything. As I get to the twilight years, right? And I remember, man, all of the way that I grew up, right? I want to make sure that the kids don't make the same mistakes that I did.
And it's
So,
beautiful.
voice
I was just
voice
to
to
say,
man.
Butch, is beautiful. You talked about different organizations coming together because, like I said, it's clear now. It is clear. All right, it is clear. The dictate from the nation's capital. We not effing with y'all no more, which is
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
We get it. We are all we got.
Yeah,
But the truth is, we
we are.
we are all we need, and we got everything we need. We've been making you all trillions of dollars. So we're gonna bring all this genius and gift and talent together, like this Boys to Men conference and Butch's genius and brilliance and black excellence and Representative Gilliard's
Mm-hmm.
brilliance and genius and black excellence and Brother Rashawn Lewis's brilliance and genius and black excellence, and we come together like the Black Avengers. We all we got, but we all we need, and we got everything we need.
Yeah.
We, as just black people in America, control 2 trillion with a T, not million, not billion, $2 trillion in spending power. Man, we bring it together. Brother Gilliard, I didn't know I learned something today. His dad used to box, so that means don't mess with Wendell. Wendell got them hands, y'all. Wendell got them hands.
I hear you, brother.
On that note, you know, if you don't have much power with your hands open like that, with your fingers separated. But when you bring those fingers together and you form that fist, you got a lot of power. So
Amen.
we come together like that fist. Brother Rashawn Lewis, Wendell Gilliard, Butch Kennedy, my brothers in spirit. And let me just say this also. DNA don't make you family. DNA don't make you a daddy. And DNA don't make you family necessarily. It means that you share DNA. But being family means that you share more than DNA. You don't have to share DNA, but if you share the same spirit, esprit de corps, as they say, if you share the same passion and commitment to culture, community, and each other, that's what makes you. You don't get to choose the family you're born into, but you do get to choose who you consider family. Thank you, brothers.
Thank you.
Saturday, August 2nd. It is free, so get there. We start at 9. It's going to be an all-day event. I'm honored to be a part of it. Thank you again, Butch Kennedy, for putting in that work. And like I said, we're going to have some conversations for us grown folks. Because Butch probably need to have a whole separate conference for the grown ass. Because that's going to take more work than the boys, to be honest, Butch. Because we got to unlearn, like we got to reverse engineer and unlearn a lot of toxic bullshit that we learned from other cultures who were intimidated by our greatness and brilliance that built the pyramids and that invented vaccines and language and writing, and it had people like Mansa Musa, who was the richest person that ever existed. See, we don't teach, you know, what we here in America as Black Americans, we've been basically taught that Black people, our history, started in 1619. Oh, no. Started way before that.
Garden of Eden.
Come on now. But they don't want you to know about the brilliance, the Black excellence. They don't want so. But we handle all that at the Boys and Men Conference and Back School Bash. Thank you, brothers. Man, I love each and every one of you, and you all know that. So.
All right.
And we'll see you soon. Thank you.
All right.
All right. And thanks to everybody on the show once again, to a Representative Wendell Gilliard, Rashawn Lewis, just a brilliant brother, and of course, Mr. Butch Kennedy, Real Men Against Domestic Violence. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live. Please, once again, please, everybody watching, click on the like button. That is so important. YouTube, they look at that, the algorithms and all that. What's an algorithm? It's basically just a set of instructions that they program into these, platforms and everything to know, who's watching and how long and all that. So click on the thumbs up, please, and tell everybody to subscribe. I'm only about 100 new subscribers away from becoming what they call a YouTube partner. That means my media company will get a check every month from YouTube. As the kids say, they'll get that bag. So it's so important that we support all Black-owned institutions, and especially Black-owned media, because nobody is going to tell our story better than us. Because when people start telling your story, they're going to add stuff, they're going to remix it, they're going to lie, they're going to put their own spin to make them look good and to make you look bad. That's why it's so important that we tell our own stories, because nobody can, let alone will, nobody can tell your story better than you. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check him out on Instagram, on IG, Kel be cutting up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection out. It's L like Lexi on Instagram, on IG. LX.N like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi _ LX.NCL _ Once again, I would love to have you. I would be honored to have you as part of the Geno Jones Show family, as a sponsor, or to advertise, or if you want to financially support the show individually or as your company. So, first of all, please join the show. As a matter of fact, let me help you grow your business. Let's grow together. Let me help you grow your business as I grow the show and my media company, and we will grow together, and it'll be amazing. It'll be a beautiful thing. So I'd love to have you as a sponsor or advertise, or if you want to make an individual contribution. No contribution is too small or too large. Now, if you want to be a sponsor, advertiser, I got sponsorship information. I got a package for you. Shoot me an email, Geno Jones Show. That's how you spell Geno Jones Show at Gmail. That is the same email address you use if you want to Zelle the show some money, you want to support the show financially. Use my Zelle, use my email address when you Zelle your contribution or gift, Geno Jones Show at gmail.com. Or you can Cash App your financial support, your gift or donation. That's Dad G. First of all, it is $, Dad G Jones, $ capital D, lowercase a like Apple, lowercase d like Daddy, capital G like Geno, capital J like Jones, lowercase o like oatmeal, lowercase n like Nanette, lowercase e like elephant, lowercase s like Sam, $ Dad G Jones. We'll see you Friday. Yes, our weekend review show kicking off the weekend Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast, live right here on YouTube, The Geno Jones Show. We'll see you Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.